First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of a religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The worst thing that LEGO has done, perhaps this decade. To some, this video might seem a bit dramatic, yet I think others will agree wholeheartedly with what I want to talk about today. And what is that I want to talk about today? Again, what I've already said. Perhaps, in my opinion, the worst thing that LEGO has done, I think almost in my lifetime. Very questionable, concerning to me. But before we do that, please consider leaving a like. Well, maybe come back to leaving a like if you enjoy the video. But either way, please consider subscribing. It would really help the channel. I would really appreciate that. But maybe you want to hear what I have to say. And now we're going to go from my perspective, how the LEGO board, in a way, I think, borderline, if not straight up, violated the First Amendment. And let's get into why do I think that, what happened, and why does it concern me. So why some of you might think it is a bit dramatic, it does involve Ryan from M&R Production. I know he can be kind of polarizing within the LEGO Star Wars community, and I understand that. But in what LEGO did with, again, this whole situation that just recently happened, I learned about a week ago, in my opinion, was very unprofessional, and in the past, let alone not just what they did last week. That we'll talk about that. But in the past 5 years, the past decade, LEGO and Ryan's relationship has been, again, very complicated. And I think more than not, I think LEGO has been unprofessional towards Ryan, and I do tend to lean on Ryan's side. I understand why some people don't, but I do lean more towards his side. And to do that, or talking about that, what LEGO did during Rebuild the Galaxy, I don't know if you guys have seen that. He has a video. I will link it in the end screen. You really should check it out. But to cut a long story short, Disney, necessarily it was produced by Disney because it was Star Wars content, invited him out to the show, the premiere showing of Rebuild the Galaxy. He responded saying, yes, I want to come. And then the next day, they said, actually, the spots all filled up, which is understandable, a disappointment, but understandable. However, that was not actually the truth. They still did have space because he ended up finding out that other people were able to go. So he thought maybe it was just another person responsible from Disney inviting people, and the person that had talked with him only had a certain person. So he, again, checked, hey, is there any space? And he's like, no, I don't have any space. If I have space, I will let you know. Tyler from Life Bricks Studios, check him out. He hasn't posted videos in like over a year, but he's still a really cool channel. Hopefully he's coming back shortly. Otherwise, he's very active on Instagram. But he also got an invitation, and he wasn't planning on going, but he said he would respond saying, I do want to go for Ryan to see what was going on. So he responded, he said he wanted to go. And even though it was past the deadline of when they were supposed to say, hey, I'm coming, to be able to come, the same person that told Ryan, hey, there's no more space, told Tyler, yep, you're squared away, you're good to come, we look forward to having you. So the apparent controversy, or the apparent thing of saying, hey, you can't come because we ran out of space, was not truthful. In reality, someone blacklisted Ryan from being able to come. And since considering Disney had already reached out, I really don't, and I would agree with him, I don't think it was Disney. I think it was LEGO being kind of childish, as it were. That's kind of unprofessional. Again, that was the unprofessional thing that I think they did, especially there was other things, but that was a big one. That whatever sect of the LEGO company or LEGO team or LEGO Star Wars team that had that authority to tell them that was kind of unprofessional, unfortunately. It's kind of interesting that the LEGO support division really came through for him with his VIP card. If you haven't checked that out, that's kind of a cool story. They really came through over there, and then some other part of LEGO is just bent on almost censoring him, which that's when I want to get into of what I think they did this past week that was borderline illegal and very concerning to me. Maybe it was a bit dramatic, but we'll get into it. So that was this past year, past September, blah, blah, blah. Last week, LEGO did a live stream for the May the 4th, showing off what was coming out, like Jango Slave 1, etc., etc. And LEGO did something concerning, at least to me. So people would try and say M and R, so capital M, word and then R, and Lego blanked that out with 5 unicorn emojis. No one could say his name. They'd try and they'd instantly get censored with unicorn emojis. Also, I found out that helmet holes were also taken out with unicorn emojis. Again, I can understand them doing that with words like obscene words or swear words. I totally get that, and I would support that. You don't need to be obscene or graphic or anything like that. That's not appropriate. I get that. I understand censoring that. But to block free speech of someone or about someone talking about your product as, yeah, it might be necessarily negative, but it's constructive. It's not just people being rude about it. It's people that really genuinely love your product and want to see it get better and have tried to voice that, I think, in a respectful way. And you just want to push your way past that and censor their name and censor the biggest topic within the Lego Star Wars community that divides us the most. They just want to ignore it instead of being able to deal with it and receive criticism. Again, in my opinion, unprofessional to say the least. And again, I know Lego is not technically an American company. They don't necessarily hold to the same core values as like an American company at times would, or we as Americans. But the idea of free speech is very sacred, right? And it's a very sacred feeling, not just in America though, but throughout much of the free world, the Western free world especially. And Denmark would be included in that. And censoring someone's free speech when they're not doing something obscene is very, again, questionable in my opinion. And that's why it bothers me. From my perspective, they were violating people's right to talk about things that bothered them, that they have concern, that they want to see something that they love do better. People do not bring up M&R or helmet holes because they're trying to bully Lego or try to just stir up controversy or ruffle the feathers of Lego. They bring these things up. Ryan brings these issues up because he wants to see the best from something that he loves. We want to see the best from something that we love. And to censor not only just the name, but also helmet holes, which again, I think is their most concerning criticism. It's the criticism that has got the most majority of Lego Star Wars fans agree with and have been the most talked about in the past few years. To censor that, to me, is reminiscent of dictatorships and authoritarian regimes who censor things, people talking negatively about them because they don't want that to happen, because they want to look good. And that's concerning. Lego as a company should be able to take criticism, to understand and accept failures and mistakes and actively try to improve them. Or they can ignore it. They can try and censor people's free speech and try to make people ride the vibe that they want to give, that Lego is perfect and never does anything bad. Instead of, they try and push people to, and some fully support them, that Lego is perfect. They never do anything wrong. They want that vibe to be out there and censor people who try and push back of saying, hey, this isn't the best. They seem to want to do that instead of insisting that only the best is good enough. But that's my 2 cents. Again, probably I'm being a bit overly dramatic, but it does concern me. It does concern me that they care more about optics of people and they're willing to censor people's free speech instead of willing to take criticism. That's concerning because many bad things can happen when you aren't willing to take constructive criticism and you censor people because of optics or because they're not, in a modern vernacular, they're not going with your vibe and you're trying to create a different vibe. That's concerning to me. And honestly, I'm thankful that Ryan and other people are willing to take a stand for what they love, even if it's just within Lego. That is nice, but also far beyond simply Legos or a toy. I hope we all take a stand for the right thing, for the truth, and are willing to take a stand even when people push back at us and try and do the wrong thing, that we always strive to do the right thing. Yes, this is talking about Lego, but I hope that this can transcend simply Lego or a toy to things that truly matter. Standing up for the truth, standing up for what's right, standing up for people that we love and we care about. I hope you guys have a wonderful time. I'm sure it'll be an interesting time down in the comments. I look forward to reading them. As always, let me know, going along with that, let me know what you think. Am I being overly dramatic or am I right on point with this concern? So look forward to reading those. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.
Of all the ideas that became the United States, there's a line here that's at the heart of all the others. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and provide new guards for their future security. People don't talk that way anymore.
Beautiful. Huh. No idea what you said.
It means if there's something wrong, those who have the ability to take action have the responsibility to take action.